Classic footy now on ITV4. It's Match Time Revisited.
More great drama? That's just the job. Trust a Trader, sponsoring ITV4 Daytime.
TrustATrader.com.
Good afternoon. Whereas we concentrated on Merseyside football last week, today it's Manchester's turn. Some spectacular goals that counted and one that didn't.
And here's Armstrong. And here's Williams. Played in for Shannon. A little touch here for Ball. And the cross in once more. Armstrong was right there. Keegan is there. Oh, an amazing goal! Oh, an astonishing goal by Keegan. But I don't think it's going to be allowed.
We've also the goals from the Midlands derby between Birmingham City and Notts County. A couple of controversial incidents as well, and Dennis Law will be taking a look at them. Later with the day's main stories, but we start at Main Road, where there was a minute's silence beforehand, a mark of respect for the former City coach and Oldham assistant manager Bill Taylor, who died this week.
Last season, Nicky Reid was arguably Manchester City's most consistent defender, but it's a midfield job again for him today, a situation Everton tried to exploit yesterday with considerable efforts to sign Reid. Reid is in midfield largely because the first-choice central defenders are now Kevin Bond and Tommy Caton, and Caton has shrugged off a calf strain to play today. Bobby McDonald and Dennis Stewart also passed fitness checks this morning. And so too did Trevor Francis, who underwent a manipulative operation on his right thigh on Wednesday, and his return today is something of a surprise. Aston Villa had doubts about Colin Gibson, Des Bremner and Eamon Deasy, but are able to field the side that won at Wigan on Tuesday. But Peter Withe, who scored the winning goal at Springfield Park, plays his last game before he appears in front of an FA disciplinary hearing on Monday, which will lead to a probable 3-match suspension. The two sides going into this game after conflicting fortunes against clubs from a lower division in the League Cup in midweek. City defend the goal to the right in the first half. The Main Road pitch in excellent condition. And Aston Villa in a change strip today of all white. Today's referee is Don Shaw from Sandbach in Cheshire. Ron Saunders could be forgiven a little extra satisfaction today, returning as manager of the league champions to the club which sacked him in 1974 after just 4.5 months in charge of Manchester City. Cowan's looking to play it early for Morley's speed, and what a fine ball it was too. And Morley can't ease it under Corrigan as the goalkeeper left his line. Superb pass from Gordon Cowans, freeing Morley. Corrigan did his job. Williams was at the near post for Villa. He toes it to safety. The throw given to Manchester City. Here's Caton, and now McDonald. Into the feet of Reeves. Now Shaw against Kevin Bond. It's a 1-against-1. DC arriving in the middle, and so too was Withe. Ranson able to pick out Hutchison with a clearance. Stopped by Cowans. Gibson, who enjoys going forward, and goes down. A challenge from Asa Hartford. Swain with on the far post as Swain attacks McDonald. Swain, whose form in the championship year won him a place in the home international squad for England at the end of last season. Hutchison. Bong joining in. And Hutchison again. It was Hartford coming in behind Bremner. Here's Ranson. Francis with the flick. Reeves arriving, but it came behind him. Now Chewett. Francis looking to turn, then looking to set up Reeves. Hartford. And Hartford a second time, and surely Francis brought it down with his hand and knows that he won't get away with it. Reeves happened to try and make a position there. Hartford twice tried his luck, and up went the left arm of Francis, and the goal rightly ruled out. Francis, knowing that Reeves was behind him. Hutchison. Francis trying to take it on the chest, and here's Reed. And now Chewett. In from McDonald. Francis again, trying to turn away from Williams. And now facing the goal, and looking for a gap that he could exploit, and the gap was filled in the end by Bremner. Francis was determined here to get a shot in of some description. He waited and he waited until he thought he might be able to curl it inside the far post from his point of view, but Bremner deflected it behind. Hutchison again looking to play the in-swinging corner, and Rimmer grateful to clutch it to his chest, with both McDonald and Chewett coming in behind those who are making the movement on the near post. Williams getting the better of Francis and finding Morley. Shaw's peeled off to his left, Reed through the centre, but here's Shaw, and it's opened up for Gary Shaw. Corrigan half makes the save, and McDonald completes the job. Morley cutting through the middle and aware of Shaw's presence, and beautifully reversed into the stride of Shaw. Corrigan blocked it here, and then McDonald whacked it to safety. McDonald. Reeves looking to get behind Williams, who did enough. Kevin Reeves, who's been asked by his manager to put more devil into his game. Francis. That's the touch of the devil from him. So a first half really of two distinct phases. Trevor Francis very much to the fore for Manchester City in the opening spell, when he came closest after the error from Jimmy Rimmer. As the half wore on, Aston Villa got to grips with their task, particularly in midfield, and looked the more dangerous side towards the end of the first 45 minutes. But at half-time at Main Road, it's Manchester City 0, Aston Villa 0. Years ago, Peter Withe made his first appearance in the Football League in slightly less exalted surroundings, though. It was for Southport against Scunthorpe, and it's a tribute to the hard work he's put into his game that he has forced his way into the England setup. And he plays his part in getting the second half underway. Manchester City, who have found Aston Villa something of a problem in recent matches. They haven't beaten them at all in the last 3 seasons. But the second half starts with, as yet, no goals. Reeves stopped by Williams. The run made here by Bremner, and Hartford has to track back with him. With arriving, so too is Morley, and Hartford concedes the first corner of the second half. Villa won only one of their first 9 Division 1 games as they set out to retain their championship. They're more back in the groove now. Evans' header, and the reflexes from Corrigan as With tries to force it in. It was a splendid save. Alan Evans climbed so well to get in a header of genuine power. And Corrigan, who could have been forgiven for being cold at the start of the second half, managed to get it up and then claimed it at the second attempt. Here's Bremner. Now Francis, still Francis. Reeves is with him if he needs the help, but Rimmer denies him. Clever Francis, who needs one more goal for 150 in the Football League. Might have thought he got it then. Reeves. And it came off Evans, Caton plants it back. Rimmer's in trouble. Stewart goes in, and the whistle goes for a free kick to Aston Villa. A really crowded penalty area. Up off Alan Evans towards Caton here. Rimmer committed himself, couldn't claim it, but the foul, I think, was by Bobby McDonald. Quickly on shore, but too quickly for the referee's liking. Carry short felt the effects of the tackle. It's coming through half of his left calf. With trying to make something out of nothing then, and that's Evans. Alan Evans, who began his league career as a striker. This time the free kick goes to City. Even though Bremner came off the worst, a blow to the scalp. Reeves. Stewart! Well, Manchester City have worked hard to find a way through. Came from a quickly taken free kick. And Reeves cutting it back. Stewart with the glancing header. Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 0. Reeves congratulated for his part too. Dennis Stewart's goal after 24 minutes of the second half. Villa protest because Bremner was certainly down and out of the game when the free kick was taken. Bremner, whose head was injured in the incident for which Mr. Shaw gave a free kick to Manchester City. City took the free kick while perhaps one or two Villa players We're concerned more about Bremner than defending their goal. But the goal stands. And With is offside. Dennis Stewart moves into double figures for the season. With looking up with Shaw. Playing offshore. It was an attack really when Villa were never in total control of possession. Cowan's looking for Morley. To rather outskill Morley. Puts away the corner. Morley being told to wait by Bremner. Wait for Williams to arrive. There's Morley again. Everyone but Rimmer in the City half, and supporters of Manchester City felt that Swain handled as he took control then. And that's deflected off Kevin Bond. The shot from Alan Evans. Corrigan with a wise shake of the head. The goalkeeper was on his toes then, metaphorically and literally. Presenting it to Cowans. Now Shaw. As Villa go hunting the equaliser, and With should have provided it. Again, City in problems of their own making. McDonald giving it away in the middle of the field to Cowans. Taken up here by Gary Shaw, and then With, as Caton missed his kick, went for placement but placed it wide, and that could be so costly for Villa. A hard-fought Manchester City victory over the league champions. The goal by Dennis Stewart and Joe Corrigan, a series of important saves that produce a final scoreline: Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 0.
A win for City, albeit with a controversial goal, and which came about as a result of this incident. There were some very strong views about it after the match. You can judge for yourselves. In a few moments from now, join us again. Welcome back. Still to come on Match Time, some great action from the Dell between Southampton and Manchester United. But first of all, let's take another look at Manchester City's winning goal yesterday, which brought a fierce protest from the Villa manager, Ron Saunders.
We concentrated for 89 minutes. The referee took our concentration away by going to an injury, which was Des Bremner, and we got 3-4 players around it when it happens, and he lets them take the free kick having gone to it. It was a diabolical decision.
Well, Villa certainly paid the penalty for a lapse in concentration after looking so comfortable for long periods in the game. But I feel that Ron Saunders rather overstated the case in his criticism of the referee. Mr. Shaw checked the injury, and you could clearly see him wave play on as he saw Bremner get him back on his feet. It's true that Bremner later had 4 stitches and a head wound, but players of Villa's experience should know better than to assume that the referee is going to hold things up. City weren't exactly within striking distance at that stage. The ball was on the halfway line. Equally significant was the fact that every defender, apart from Bremner himself, was back at covering at the time that the cross came in. I admit to feeling some sympathy for Villa, But the credit must go to City for taking advantage of the situation and scoring a superb match-winning goal. Well, now to a subject close to the hearts of the City supporters, the possibility that manager John Bond might sell Nicky Reid. I can never understand it when clubs part with talented young players, and Reid certainly comes into that category. He's at his best as a central defender, but since Kevin Bond arrived at the club, he's been forced into midfield, where he's done a good job despite the fact that distribution is not his strong point. Reid's great quality is his power and willingness to run non-stop for 90 minutes. His tackling ability has never been in question, and that never-say-die attitude that made him a firm favourite with the fans, a point brought home very firmly at Main Road yesterday.
Well, now the goal highlights from a game involving two sides near the bottom of the First Division, Birmingham City and Notts County. And a surprise before the match when Birmingham's Frank Worthington was dropped and put on the transfer list. And that meant a recall for the club's leading scorer, Tony Evans. Your commentator, Hugh Johns of ATV. County are in the stripes.
Picks up Mayer. Trying to get in behind Birmingham, and he did. It's not a bad ball. Hunt is kicked. Still there for Hooks. He gets a corner out of it. And there's Birmingham City defence not looking too good. Hunt, Hooks and McCulloch constantly testing them and finding them a little wanting. Here's the corner. High curler, McCulloch. Oh, good goal. Yes. What a beaut. What a beauty. Ian McCulloch. That's his 7th of the season. Beautiful high-hanging corner from Chidozie. And look now for McCulloch coming in. And didn't he get up in the air? Oh, lovely goal. Ball free. And scooped back as far as Dennis. And again, they're lining up in the box. Dillon tries to get it in. Handball. Handball by Ray O'Brien. Deliberate action of the hand, says referee Ray Chadwick. Now here's O'Brien there, and there was the deliberate action. Tony Evans lines himself up. Oh, and he just squeezes it inside the post. Abramovich gets right, but there was no way he could dive and get his fingers to that. Look to see now Abramovich taking off now before the ball is struck, hits the post, clips in, 1-1. Broadhurst, hopeful pass in the direction of Van Mierlo. Now Langan. Good one in for Kerbishley. Good ball, Langan. Oh! A disaster by Abramovich, and Evans makes it 2-1. And that's all down to the goalkeeper. 5 minutes into this second half. Tony Evans, oh, he did enjoy the free gift that the goalkeeper gave him. This wasn't a particularly good ball in from Langan. It was straight to the goalkeeper. He's got it. He hasn't got it. Evans has. 2-1 Birmingham City.
And 2-1 the final score. And 3 points taking Birmingham above Notts County. The two North East clubs, Middlesbrough and Sunderland, even at this stage, must be seriously concerned about the prospect of relegation. Well, time now to go to the Dell for Southampton against Manchester United. All the makings of a classic between two of the First Division's most entertaining sides. And that's exactly how it turned out. The commentator, Brian Moore of London Weekend Television, United in the unfamiliar blue shirts.
Well, this is the Southampton team. They're unchanged. And since that victory at Anfield, they've enjoyed 4 days of sunshine in Spain. And although a lot of the credit goes to their defence, it's worth pointing out that Kevin Keegan and Steve Moran between them have scored 24 goals this season. Manchester United leave out skipper Martin Buchan, even though he's recovered from a hamstring injury. Gordon McQueen, who came back to the side after injury last week, keeps his place. And as well as missing Gary Bailey, United also come to this match without Steve Coppell, who is still under treatment for an ankle injury. The referee, Danny Vickers of Ilford, gets the game underway with Manchester United attacking the goal to our right. They're in an unfamiliar strip of blue shirts and white shorts, with Southampton red shirts with that familiar broad white stripe. Match with so much meaning at the top of the First Division as Wilkins, the United captain, gets the ball back to Albiston. Played in here towards Stapleton, and a goal kick for Southampton. And sitting in the crowd, a number of blind supporters listening to the local hospital radio. That's a great gesture by the Southampton club, and good work by the radio men as well. Ray Wilkins. John Gidman. Bertels flicking one on there, and he might get the return for Moses somehow to get in there, but what was even more astonishing was the touch by Katalinic. What an amazing break there that nearly caught Southampton out. Moses was right in there. A powerful shot struck well, and a beautiful piece of keeping by Ivan Katalinic. So it's a corner for Manchester United. McElroy with it. Keegan's little touch on Moran. Well, suddenly Moran was free, and the shot was just a little wide. McElroy, Bertels, and Brian Robson. Alan Ball to Steve Williams, brought down by Wilkins, free kick. So Southampton's free kick, Alan Ball floating it towards Keegan. Might well have been shoved in the back by McQueen there, it seemed, but the referee thought otherwise. But Southampton got a throw. Shannon quickly for Keegan. Oh, my word! Keegan almost made something out of nothing there. It looked as though there was no possibility after he'd been challenged by McQueen, but he was right down by the byline, and a powerful shot that Roach had to turn away. So it's Shannon with the corner. Keegan trying to get the header in, but Kevin Moran got the better of him. It's now with Nick Holmes. Again, the ball played forward and offside against Steve Williams. The run not quite properly timed, and a free kick to Manchester United. Stapleton's backward flick. Nicol, not a really tidy header, but Williams getting it away. Ball. McQueen. Nicol. Wilkins. Stapleton, a nice touch for Robson. Played wide here for Bertels. Now Remy Moses, who's got support from John Gidman. So Gidman. Wilkins. Moses with a header. Bertels, good possession here by Manchester United, and put to the defence as Stapleton puts them into the lead. Brilliant goal for Manchester United, works superbly with 10 or a dozen passes, and this is how it will finish off. Played in there by Gidman. Caught there superbly by Stapleton, and Katalinic without a chance. Keegan. Shannon. Williams. Cross here towards David Armstrong, but United were lining up in defence to get that one away. Holmes will take the throw. Period of pressure here for Southampton. Shannon getting it back for Armstrong, driving it over that United crossbar. United, who've conceded only 12 league goals in 17 games, are taking a bit of breaking down. Armstrong way outside the box, always on the up and over the top. Stapleton, laid back for Moses this time. They tend to be standing off their men a little bit in defence, Southampton, and there's always just that half yard of space, it seems, at the moment for the Manchester United front men. And Moses making one or two really impressive darts into attacking positions. McQueen, who's been really all-powerful in the air. Massive kick there by Katalinic. Keegan turning it on. Moran! 1-1! Well, that was the most clinical finishing you'd possibly see. Suddenly it was 1 against 1 as he came to Paddy Roach. And what icy cool nerve the young man showed. The ball came through to him here, and there it went, 1-1. Steve Moran's 11th goal of the season. Well, he's Laurie McMenamin his mind a little bit, that equaliser. Gidman then will take the throw. It's a good long throw as well. Birtles trying the back header. And I think the ball coming off, yes, off Nick Holmes, giving Manchester United the corner. So a corner for Manchester United. Once again, it's Wilkins with it. Good big jump by Moran. Shannon only half getting it away. Moran still in there. Wilkins driving it. My word, and it was knocked away right at the end by Alan Ball, who just stood there. Almost got his head knocked off, but certainly saved a second Manchester United goal. As we wait for the corner, really rifled in there, and Ball just glancing it away for this corner here. Shannon that one more conventionally away for Southampton. Talk about being in the right spot at the right time. That certainly applied to Alan Ball at that moment. Southampton's throw with Steve Moran. Now John Gidman, number 2. Straight to Alan Ball. And Moran is on his way again. Getting in behind them once more with all the pace in the world as he got the finishing as well. Keegan has! Steve Moran, who scored the first, unquestionably with a big smile on his face, has now made the second. What a run. Looked as though he'd taken it too far. In the end, he got just the better of Moran, and Keegan was in there to finish it off. And United get the throw. Brian Robson. Gerlach. Williams. Shannon. Williams yet again. Keegan brought down, free kick. United not happy with the decision. Keegan felt the pain of Moran's challenge, and right on half-time, Southampton get a free kick some 8 to 10 yards outside that Manchester United penalty area. Ball, and Keegan's all right again. 4 in the wall. And Keegan, off the top of the crossbar, a brilliantly executed free kick. A little two-touch and a curler by Keegan after his recovery. And a glance off the top of the crossbar. There's the first touch, there's the second touch, there's Keegan's curler just nicking off the top. Right on half-time, and what an excellent first half it's been, with Southampton coming from a goal down to get a better grip on the game, thanks to Steve Moran, who scored the first goal with some icy finishing and then made the second for Kevin Keegan after Frank Stapleton had put Manchester United into the lead. Half-time score, Southampton 2, Manchester United 1. So Southampton get the second half underway, attacking the goal to our right. Nickel back to Katalinic. They've only lost one in the league here, Southampton, and that was at home to Spurs. Well, they've certainly had value so far. Keegan again battling with Kevin Moran. Can't quite remember where the ball was, though. Moses now playing it into space, deliberately handled there by Malcolm Waldron. That'll be a booking. And really, in fairness, it was one of those occasions when it had to be, because if he hadn't done that, there's no doubt at all that the ball would have gone on for Birtles. Wilkins floating it. McQueen looking to get the header in. And Robson! So Brian Robson gets his second goal for Manchester United, and the second for the club on the day, bringing it back to 2-2. And a question mark there against the Southampton defence once McQueen had got that header in. They stopped running and allowed Robson to get in there and make it 2-2. So with 6 minutes of the second half gone, the game is back level again. Holmes. Birtles. If they can get a deep cross in, Robson may get to it, but Katalinic maybe made that look a little more spectacular than it needed to, but his handling again was excellent. And here's Armstrong. And here's Williams, played in for Shannon. A little touch here for Ball. And the cross in once more. Armstrong was right there. Keegan is there. Oh, an amazing goal! Oh, an astonishing goal by Keegan. But I don't think it's going to be allowed. The linesman is there with his arms on his hips. Now, what could that be for? Now, we'll see what it might possibly have been. Certainly Keegan couldn't have been offside, but Armstrong may have been. Disallowed. A free kick for Manchester United, offside against David Armstrong. Well, it's tough. I don't think even Keegan would have scored a more spectacular goal than that. Goal in quotes, because it's been disallowed, and I think the pictures did tend to prove that Armstrong was standing in an offside position, and standing as he was in the centre of the penalty area, he must have been interfering with play. Disappointing for Southampton and for Keegan, but I'm bound to say I think the linesman and the referee were right. Kidman finding Wilkins. Played straight to Southampton by Orbiston. Well, that disappointment seems to have spurred Southampton on still more. Ball. Golak. Oh, getting it through for Shannon. Nobody there to follow it up. And in the end, they concede the corner, but not the goal. Armstrong trying desperately to get in there after Shannon had done such good work. But in the end, they got it away. So Southampton's corner. Headed down there, and in the end flicked over, presumably by Moran. Nicol, who made the first important contact. There was his header, and Moran turning it over. Ball. Holmes. Waldron. And Armstrong just nicking it out there again for Nick Holmes. Crossed in early, Kevin Moran getting it away. It's Waldron again, and now Ball pumping it in once more. McQueen's header this time for Manchester United. Shannon for Southampton. McElroy trying to make the break, but Golak is there first. Backfield into touch, and a throw for United. Wilkins. Moran. Wilkins. Nicol. Ball. Keegan's off again. Taking on McQueen this time. A little dummy. Found a yard of space. Shannon looking to be able to turn, and United are denying him. Shannon almost got the turn in. Armstrong going in all the way. The manager, and I should think he's delighted, but at the same time wants now everybody to get back and to concentrate. Shannon performed miracles here. It looked as though he almost made a shooting place for himself there, then saw that Armstrong was coming up, and Armstrong steamed all the way through past Roach, and that puts it 3-2. Wilkins, Ball, here's Wilkins again, it's not over yet, a 1-2 there, and it might still fall for Wilkins, and a shot on the turn, and just into the side netting. Well, that really would have been a heart-stopping finish, and Wilkins was battling away there in an effort to find yet another equaliser for Manchester United. But we're right at the end. We're playing time added on for stoppages. The ball didn't come outside the penalty area, so that goal kick will need to be taken again. And Southampton are leading by 3-2. Demanded something dramatic at the finish and got it with a goal in the last minute by David Armstrong. Gives Southampton a fantastic 3-2 victory after Stapleton had put Manchester United into the lead when Moran and then Keegan scored and then Robson equalised, and then this man David Armstrong, number 10, came steaming through in the final minute to put the icing on a most fantastic feast. What a match. What incidents. And that's not even mentioning that amazing overhead goal by Keegan that was disallowed. The smiles of Laurie McMenemy, and why not? There won't be many Southampton supporters going away from here with anything other than the broadest of Hampshire smiles.
Yes, and a game that lived up to all its pre-match billing. 5 goals, a sensational finish, and an incredible goal, as Brian mentioned there, by Kevin Keegan, which was disallowed. Well, afterwards, the Southampton manager, Laurie McMenemy, accepted that David Armstrong was in an offside position, but also said he wasn't interfering with play. Dennis, what's your view about that?
Well, I felt that the referee was absolutely correct in ruling out the goal. Here we see the ball coming over to Kevin Keegan. And as he strikes it, Dave Armstrong is clearly in an offside position in the centre of your picture. And that is the point at which the official must make his decision. What comes next is irrelevant. To say that Armstrong is not interfering with play is a nonsense. He's in the middle of the goal and ready to snap on any chance that comes his way. The shot was terrific, but that doesn't alter the fact that the linesman spotted the infringement, and the referee, quite rightly, heeded his advice.
Well, now let's see the top of the First Division, and United still the leaders, although Ipswich now have the same number of points with 2 games in hand. The top of the Second Division also worth a look at, with Oldham there in 2nd place, the highest position they've been in since the war. We leave the last word this afternoon to Dennis Stewart, a striker who's dropped back into midfield and who's still scoring goals. Goodbye.
All the time I've been in football, I think it's always nice to get double figures, and the fact that I'm a midfield player now and doing certain responsibilities in other parts of the field, the fact that I've got double figures really delights me.
Reeves. Stewart!